Graduating with a film degree is never an easy thing, and you all did it during a pandemic. Congratulations on that.
We here in the alumni chapter are excited to welcome all new graduates so that you can continue to be a Laker for a lifetime.
We're really excited to see your work in the showcase too.
Alumni near and far, we have resources for you to stay in touch with your Laker family. We have a list of resources on our website, on our Facebook page, and our latest is the Alumni Live program.
And if you want to learn more about Alumni Live, you can watch this trailer, edited by our wonderful intern this semester, Jake.
Hi, I'm Randy Strobel with the GVSU Film Video Alumni Chapter. Welcome to Alumni Live, where we discuss the industry, the GV film major, and alumni profiles.
What did you see in them that gave you the confidence that they could make a successful feature film?
I created a couple games with a group of very talented people. One of them was called Joe versus Volcano.
I kept hearing the same thing when I was at school at Grand Valley. They're like, oh, the ad two is most important, just being a team player and everything like that. But the thing is, that is genuinely it though. That is what is so true.
In order to make money and get paid from ad revenue from YouTube, you have to meet the minimum requirements. And once you do, you have to apply to become a partner.
I didn't have the resume to get hired as a set PA on a TV show right off the bat, but I knew people that were key set PAs on TV shows. So if they needed an extra 5 people to go watch a street corner or something, they'd hire you for a day, and then you could say you worked on this show, you know, and things kind of moved from there.
We just made a whole library of different kinds of footsteps and you know, stabbing and all different kinds of things, and we just kept it as a library. And when this one came around, we were like, oh, we get to go back into that library.
You have to have at least one really, really good script. If you want to become a writer, someone's going to want to read you, and if it's not very good, they're probably not going to want to hire you, regardless of whether or not they like you or you're nice or anything else.
Watch live and add your questions to the comments sections. If you have an alumni that you'd like us to feature, let us know. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Hey, we got another one coming in.
Here you go.
They all set?
There we go.
She's got a funeral on Monday. She has to be ready by then. Here's some of her stuff. What is it? What's going on?
Nothing. I'm fine.
Really?
Positive.
Take your time. I can put her away for now. I'll see you on Monday.
That's probably better for you.
You're all. Maybe we should try this in the morning.
I was like 25, and I still thought that things didn't go bump in the night.
Then pan ahead to Kentucky, and that's when this started happening. She started telling me about this what she's seeing in the woods. And me, I'm pretty much a skeptic, so I kind of didn't believe her at first.
Yeah, he told everyone on national television he thought I was exaggerating. And I got a little upset about that, but it didn't start. We moved in April of 1991. And when we moved in, it seemed like a normal neighborhood. And I was actually really happy. Things were going pretty good till August. And in August, one of the neighbor's dogs had died. So we dug a hole up by the woods and we buried it. And we thought that was the end of it. So when I did my first interview on this, I broke down on radio. It felt so stupid. It changes you. When you hear people say it changes you, believe them. It does. You will never be the same because you've had your innocence taken away. It's gone, and now you don't know if this exists, what else does?
So the officer and I went out there to take a look at it. You know, he just tried to chew in around the doors. And you could see a dog print, you know, alongside the window there. And so it was, you know, obviously a dog.
Then the thing let out an unearthly scream and came out and stood upright.
I heard about the Dog Man when I was a kid, obviously, and this song is like iconic. It comes on the radio every year around Halloween or when fall starts, and as a kid you hear the song and it's eerie and it's haunting and it's meant to scare you, and as a kid it does. So
I've always been into, like, you know, paranormal stuff and whatnot, so in my experience I believe that Dogman actually exists. Like, urban legends exist, creatures exist, we just don't know about them because they're excellent at hiding. May sound crazy, but it's a high possibility, especially after you see multiple things in your life.
I think the worst part of it was after all of the attacks and the trailers emptied out and it started coming closer and closer. And it was really, really getting bad because it was nightly that it was coming around. And you couldn't sleep and you were tired. And it was starting to affect my relationships with people. You know, it was hard for me to be who I wanted to be. I was always snapping. And so the final night we were there, we had decided we were going to rent some movies, you know, back in the day of VHS. And we rented a couple movies, and I apologize if I'm shaking. I don't even remember what the movie was because we had just barely put the movie in, and we had made popcorn and we stuck it in a bowl. And I looked up and it was over in by the kitchen, right at the glass. And it was looking in, and it let out this like really deep guttural growl. And then it just made this noise, and it's not a howl. If someone tells you that a dog man howls, it's either a different dog man or they've never seen one, because it was terrible. So now we're both screaming, and then it starts shaking this 14 by 70 mobile home, literally shaking it. And I'm thinking, at that point, I'm thinking that this is literally how we're gonna die. The door pops open. I'm sorry. So the door pops open, and the growling stops. And we're not screaming anymore because we just thought we were gonna die. We literally thought this is it. and you can't hear anything. And you can't see him.
So I was heading to work at 3:30 in the morning. We had to be there by 4 because we had to pull out the grills, clean up everything. It was like a monthly thing. And pull out the driveway, just turn on the radio, cruising down like normal. And not even like a couple miles down the road from here, I ended up seeing like a black figure, like a man standing at the edge of the road. And I'm like, well, this is odd. Like, I don't ever see anybody this early in the morning, and there's absolutely no cars at all too. So basically I'm just like, whatever, not even ignoring, just gonna ignore it. But what got me is I just saw that, like I said, black figure, but you couldn't see the eyes at all. Like, absolutely nothing. It was just straight black shadow. So I'm like looking at it still, and next thing you know, it just gets down on all fours and then just bolts across the road. So I'm like, I'm gonna hit you now, basically, because you're like right in front of me, and I ended up hitting him. And I felt the clunk, 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 I hit him, ran it over, and I'm like, all right, okay. So I got out, and I took my flashlight out of the center console, shined it around, I saw the damage on my front bumper too. So I'm like, this is weird, right? And I'm looking off over towards the woods where it was at, because it was on the right-hand side, and this is the most awkward patch of woods ever. And I could just see the black shadow or figure or whatever, it's just standing like there, like behind a tree, like peeking its head out, And what got me this time is when I shined it, I could just see like his face, because I saw it, and it had like one glowing red eye, and I couldn't see the other one because the tree was like this, And I'm like, what are you? Like what just happened? Like, why did you do that? And then like just released like this most intense howl I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, so basically it's like everybody thought I was crazy after that. I've talked about it plenty of times before, and people are like, that's just weird. You probably just ran over a dog. But what got me is it was standing, and it was like taller than a 6-foot man. And it was just huge, basically. And it got down on all fours and just booked it. So a couple of years later, I just happened to come across the last part of the video, and it said Dogman. So I'm like, wow, this is interesting. In that video, they stated that the last sighting of Dogman was in Ottawa County, Michigan. And I'm like, yo, I live in Ottawa County, Michigan. And I go, I might have hit Dogman.
So we agreed we were going to go to the door together. And we went to the door. And I remember trying to reach for the handle, thinking that I was, it was going to grab me. And it was just gone. We looked out, it was gone. It was like it wasn't there at all. And we closed the door and we locked it, and we called the police, and I swear they thought that I needed to be on medication or admitted. They told us that kids do stuff like that. They go out and try and scare you. And when John came home from the field, I told him that I couldn't stay anymore. I was done, I couldn't stay. So I went to housing, and I lied. And I told them that we were having problems at the house. And I remember the day we were moving out. We started really early. And I'm not a morning person, so I gotta tell you something. And we were just throwing stuff in boxes. Bags, boxes, garbage bags. We didn't care. We just had to get out before dark. And we left stuff. We just left it. And it was getting dark. And I looked up on the tree line, and there he was. Just waiting.
Yeah, watching us move out.
Watching us. And he's like, we don't have everything. And I said, just leave it. Just leave it. And I can't, to this day, not even now, go walk in those woods. Not even here. And watched us as we drove away. It was like it was saying, I won. And I will never go back. I know what the truth is. And I know my truth. I know what happened. and I know I'm not crazy. For a while I thought I was crazy, but I'm not. And anyone who wants to tell me that that's not real, well, I invite you to go for a walk in the woods in Kentucky and see how you feel about it when you come back out, because they're there. They're real, and they are watching you.
And somewhere in the Northwoods darkness, a creature walks upright. And the best advice you may ever get is don't go out at night.
Hey!
I need to prove myself. Not to anyone else, but to myself. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I just want to know why you're killing yourself like this.
I told you I need to focus.
Look, I know you're hurting inside, but that doesn't give you the right to just push others out of your life, just to watch you get hurt. Other people care too, you know. Your life isn't just yours to throw away.
Do you even hear yourself? If my life isn't mine to do with what I please, then whose is it? What's the point of living if I can't do what makes me happy? My dreams can't just be something I have for 8 hours a night when I sleep.
Success isn't everything.
I have to do this, and you need to understand that, Jess.
Even if it costs you everything?
That's the mindset you've got to have if you're going to achieve anything meaningful in life.
So all those times we talked about having a life and a family together, what, that's just gone?
That's not enough, don't you get it? That's not me anymore.
Some hero.
All I'm asking for is for you to let me be who I am.
You don't need to be some action hero for me or anyone else to respect you.
I don't respect myself yet, and that's what matters. I don't know if I ever will, but all I can do is try. If I don't try, I'll always regret it. Damn it!
You son of a bitch. You motherfucker. Why me, huh? Why me? This is all I wanted. Why me?
Just be careful.
I will.
Whoever or whatever you are, why do you work in such mysterious ways? Why lead me here just to put these thoughts in my head? Why have you sacrificed everything for this one mission just to strip it all away in the end? You could have chose anybody's life to screw with. Why me? What do I do? Just give me a sign and show yourself! It's you. It's always been you. Until the end.
It's time, boss.
What are you saying?
I'm saying sometimes a person's best just isn't good enough.
You sound like you know the future.
I'm saying there is no future with me. No matter the outcome of this fight.
Then why go through with it? Just call it off if you know the results already.
I'm sorry.
I said I'd be by your side no matter what. So I'll be in the stand until the end.
But for some reason, this just feels like the point of no return. almost like a premonition or a sign, you know?
It sounds like you're nervous to me.
No, this is different. This is something bigger. It feels like there's some force pushing me into one direction in life, slowly taking more and more of the decision making out of my hands. And now, as I'm in this room, I suddenly feel as if I have no control. But for some reason, I'm stuck thinking of all the other directions my life could have gone. I'm wondering, did I ever even have a say in how my life will go?
You've always been larger than life, you know?
But all I can do is be who I am, no matter the cost.
I feel cold and stiff. Not in a physical way, in like a mental or spiritual way.
Hey, it's me. You didn't pick up, so I just figured I'd leave a message. I'm not sure where you are, but wherever it is, I hope you're doing well and having fun. I just want to let you know that we did it. You don't need to stress or worry anymore. It's over. We did it. That's really all I've got to tell you for now. I wish I had more. Hopefully we'll meet again one day. Bye.
My name's Callista Corey, and I'm the co-director for Jaws the short film. And although I am in senior thesis, and I already have a script that I made as my senior thesis, I believe that I did 2 senior theses because of Jaws. It was so much work. The crew worked endlessly to make sure everything was good. We spent 1 month shooting for 46 hours, which is a lot for a short film. So what you're about to see is a culmination of a lot of hard work. Please enjoy.
No. Could you take off the soup? Yeah.
Hungry? What's your favorite? No. Sweetheart, okay? It's gotten bad, hasn't it? We're gonna get you taken care of, okay?
Hi there, how can I help you?
Hi, my dog is sick.
Okay, what was your phone number and your name?
Kriza Holtz and 616-401-8268.
Okay, and what was the dog's name?
Jocelyn.
I'm gonna go ahead and get her inside for you, and the doctor's gonna take a look at her. We are curbside right now, so I'm just gonna have you hang out either in your car or just outside. Give us a little bit of time and we're gonna give you a call, okay? I'll go get her taken care of. Come on, Jocelyn, let's go inside, Mama. Let's go get checked out. Come on. We're gonna get you taken care of. Come on, honey. Come on, Jocelyn, let's go see the doctor. Sometimes they're a little nervous, but we'll get them in. Come on, Jocelyn. There you go, sweet girl. I'm sorry. Could you take a look at that?
With the sedation, you're looking at about $170.
How much did today cost?
With looking at it under the microscope, it was $80. Is that gonna be okay?
Hey, Mom. Jocelyn had a vet visit today. Well, I was just wondering if you had any extra, you know what, never mind. I think I have it covered. Yeah. Yeah, Jaws is good. We got it. I'm good. I was just calling in to check up on you. Okay. Well, I'll see you soon. Alright, bye.
And then I'll grab your bag for you. There you go. Thanks for coming in. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hello, Ms. Holtz. Unfortunately, we cannot allow you to donate plasma today due to your lab results showing low iron. Now, if you like, we can defer it a couple of weeks and check it out.
Did you want to buy anything?
Sure, yeah. Is it just all this? Okay. How about the chair?
You want the chair?
Yeah, sure.
It's not finished.
That's okay. How much do you want for it?
How much can you give?
I have a $20 bill. Is that okay?
I'll take it.
Perfect.
this possibly be interested in buying the furniture?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, we really can't. Thank you.
How's it going?
I don't think so.
No.
Not today.
Okay.
Thank you so much, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, this is Jocelyn.
Hi.
You can like hold like your dog toys in it.
Oh, yeah, that is nice. That is cute. I like that.
Did you paint that?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Are you interested in some furniture?
Sure, I'll take a look.
Yeah, I hand painted all of it.
Okay, can I just pick
Yeah.
this one? I like this one.
You like this?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you very much. How much is that?
How much are you willing to pay for it?
basket.
The basket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. 2
Uh-huh.
pieces of furniture left if you guys want it. Give it to you best offer.
Pretty nice.
Thank you so much. This means so much. Thank you guys. No way. No way! I'm about to be a little free lady, Jaws. Maddie. I'm making this video because Jordan told me to, and I'm realizing that I don't remember what I'm supposed to say. But if Jordan tells you to do something, you do it, so... Hi, Jordan. I made a documentary. I hope you guys like it. Okay, bye.
I always feel kind of insulted because obviously ASL means American Sign, what's the L, right? That's language, right? So obviously it's even in the name. It has been from 1880 and still now we're still fighting that fight to get ASL as a recognized language, not a hybrid, not like signed English, one of the signed English systems, which there are many, not that, like true ASL as the instruction language for deaf children is still a fight. Just before, I would say 1820 is when Gallaudet set up the first school for the deaf in America, and he brought Laurent Clerc to America from France, who was a deaf man who used sign language to educate. And so those very first formal schools signed. They probably are the centers of the development of American Sign Language based on French Sign Language, right?
My name is Alexander Graham Bell. How many of you can read lips?
Very smart person, very business-minded person, and had some really profound thoughts about the way society should be designed. We'll say that.
He thought that you could genetically engineer people, or else culturally, or just by the cultural social systems, that deafness could be eradicated, and that's what he really was trying to do.
He thought deaf people should not marry deaf people because they would make more deaf people. His story is well remembered by hearing people, but his dark side is very forgotten by hearing people. It's still the same today. Oralism and sign education are still the hot topic for deaf education.
When I was a substitute, I was just kind of thrown into it, and there were other deaf students who were taught by other teachers, and so they really helped me. It was the other teachers that helped me work with my students. But my most recent experience, I think I had a little more help and encouragement, but sometimes there were lapses or miscommunication, and I think a little more communication would have been better for us.
So we did have interpreters. We still had interpreters come into the classroom, but I felt like the signed English wasn't really the same. And that was in elementary school. They hired an interpreter who wasn't qualified one time. So I told my parents that this person really didn't sign well. And when my parents heard about that, I remember there was a big discussion with the school board. There were huge meetings. It lasted almost a year, this whole process, to prove that I had a right, that their child had a right, that my education was important, and that went through the interpreter. And I feel like maybe the school board thought that if they hired a signer, that it would be cheaper for them, or maybe that sign wasn't important anyway, that the students could hear enough because they had implants. So that's why they did that. But once I got out of elementary school and I went to a different school, it seemed like ASL or sign language was viewed more positively.
between like 25 and 40% of requests go unfilled because they don't have enough interpreters. And that's kind of a concern, but there's a huge demand out there. And so universities are like, oh, I don't want to accept that credit, or that's not a real language. I'm like, do I need to rewind this and talk to you again about the phonology, the semantics, and the culture and everything that makes a language and how it's present in ASL?
I know a lot of colleges had a fight for it to even one class to be offered. And I think that's because they think, universities think it's a disability to be deaf and not actually just a culture. I think it's rude in a sense, and I think it's very condescending in a sense, because we're as humans and we can't choose what we are and what we aren't, and I think we should just embrace everything, not as a disability, but as a culture or a way of life.
We're learning Spanish, we're learning Chinese, we're learning French. Why not ASL? Think about
that. Okay, so I use ASL because that's my language. For example, I can talk. I've had speech training. But I don't feel confident enough to really communicate with other hearing people. And especially if they assume that I can hear or I can talk, they think that it's a 100% effective, and it's not 100% effective for me. So I prefer ASL, using ASL, because I have 100% access to language when I do.
The advantage of using ASL is I can talk to people from a whole different community, from a whole different language, and I'm just open to more things, of seeing more people, especially with my career of wanting to go into owning my own restaurant and brewery. I can actually hire people that have that is deaf and able to communicate with them a little bit easier, or if someone came in and was deaf, I can speak to them and they can order and have fun and still feel like they're welcomed.
The thing about sign language that I wish everybody knew is that you don't need to be fluent to be capable of having a conversation with a deaf person. You don't need to be fluent to provide access to deaf people. A lot of people think that it's also related to English, and that there is a sign for every English word, and you really have to throw out your English mentality when you're learning ASL, because ASL has its own grammar, its own structure, its own syntax. So really, it's its own language. You know, it includes facial expressions, and when people realize that, it's a visual and beautiful language.
Hi, I'm Ben Friedman, and I directed the senior thesis called Your Son. It's just a little short film about a single mom. I want to give a thank you to everyone who worked on the project with me, on my crew, with a special shout out to Jordan Scootar, Josh Geyer, Grace Fields, and Brennan Heisinga for spending a lot of time working on it with me in post. So yeah, I hope this is not terrible.
Hello, parents of Dijkstra High School students. This call is to inform you that today, Monday, February 15th, an armed intruder entered DHS. We will provide you with an update as soon as possible. We ask that you please remain calm and do not pick up your child until directed to do so. Thank you.
Hi, Cal. It's Mom. I hope everything's okay. Stay safe and do what your teachers say. Please call or call me as soon as you hear this. Love you.
Live with news from Dijkstra High School. Due to what is reportedly an active shooter situation taking place, DHS is on lockdown. Not much is known at the moment, and school officials have stated that.
Oh, come on. Nancy. Oh, wait, just a second. They won't let you. No, I can't. He takes the car to school every day. No, hold on, wait. Shit.
tragedy at Dijkstra High School continues. There have been a total of 8 casualties, all of them believed to be students, along with several wounded. A suspect has been identified, but no name or status can be disclosed at this time.
Hello? Cal? Are you there? Honey, are you? Oh, Cal, please. Damn it, Cal. Damn it. Please. Please answer the phone, please. I can't. No. You don't have to, please. Just call and answer the phone. Why? I can't.
Are you Lucy Snyder?
Yes.
Are you the mother of Callahan Snyder?
Yes. Is he okay? Is everything all right?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am. We have a warrant to search your home.
Ever since I was young, my parents just said I was crazy about going fishing and being on the water and that kind of thing. So that kind of kick-started, I think, where I wanted my career to go, even if I didn't know it. And just like the night before I would go fishing, I couldn't sleep. I'd be up till 5 in the morning, waking up my mom crying because I wanted to get out of the water so bad. I don't know what the title is, what I'm looking for. I just know I want to be working on preserving water quality or some kind of land conservation that deals with water quality. I don't know what the title is going to be eventually, but I'm going to take whatever I can get. Natural resource management. Yeah, all right. All right, well, my name's Jakey Rusty. Currently living in Grand Rapids. I'm 23 years old. I just graduated from Grand Valley last April. I studied natural resource management. Got done with the program. New stage life, I guess. So starting natural resource management, I just decided that I have a passion for water and the things that go on in that. And I realized like that was going to be my career course. Or just like the greater Michigan for our people, just because we're the Great Lakes state. It's just something I'm passionate about. Yeah, this place is awesome. Everyone talks, well, at least in the fly fishing community, about going west. There's not many places where you can go drive 30 minutes and cross 100 rivers. It's just insane. And like every river is so different and every lake is so different and there's so many species. It's just crazy. It's like a mecca of fly fishing. Yeah, it's definitely an escape, fly fishing, but it's also like way more than that. Kind of like a life, I don't want to say that. It's a life, it really is a lifestyle. Like it's like constantly on my brain. It's just messed up kind of. Yeah, so the job search right now, it's a little bit tougher because Gabrielle, my wife, is going to grad school at Grand Valley. So I'm, stuck within 50-mile radius or so, unless I want to drive an hour and a half to work, which I don't. So it's kind of tough because you can usually get a job if you're willing to travel. And I would be willing to do that, but right now I want to stay here. I don't want to have to, leave Gabrielle. The pandemic hit, as everyone knew, in 2020, right before I was supposed to graduate. I've already applied for 20 jobs at that point, and then they all shut down. So working at Packmail, that's where I currently work right now. And I did work there when I was going to school as well, but I really never thought that I'd be back. So now I'm still looking and I'm still searching for a job in my field. It's just different. Like I always thought I'd just hop right into a career job right when I got done. That's not the case. Marriage. It's scary, man. I think probably my junior year, the summer before my senior year, I didn't really think maybe that through as much as I could have. But yeah, I was terrified because, you don't have a job that supports two people really. The good thing is she knows I'm like working really hard at my jobs. Even if I can't get 40 hours a week, sometimes like I'm picking up as much as I can and I'm applying for jobs every night and like she doesn't care what I'm doing. She's like one of the few people that like never ask, like, so like, what are you doing? Like, are you finding anything? Like, she just knows I'm trying and like, she knows I'm gonna tell her if I do. I call it river church or something like that when I go out there. Like sometime during Corona too, on Sunday mornings, I wasn't going to church. if Gabrielle was busy, I'd just start going to the river on Sunday mornings and, you know, like reading like a quick little blurb from the Bible before I went out there and like just kind of going through it in my head. And yeah, I guess just appreciating like what it is that God has made here. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, sometimes it's a spiritual experience, sometimes it's very not a spiritual experience. It's been kind of hard, I think, through like this time. We're going through Psalms right now, which has been kind of cool, just because David is like writing most of those, and a lot of times he's like, oh, like, God, my life sucks, like I can't win, and then he says, but still you're good, like over and over again. So it's kind of been like banging into my head, like every night we read one. So yeah, that's kind of been a cool little experience for me, that like even though like I'm asking God like daily, like come on, like let something break through, man, and it's not happening, like still he is good, and still like he is the rock, the shield, all those things. I got a job with an environmental consulting firm, finally, after applying to like so many different places during Corona. But it just feels good. She's got finals coming up for grad school. So we just kind of hung out and had a bottle of champagne and had a good dinner. It was a tough year, and things were not easy for me and Gabrielle for the year. After it's all said and done, like I'm ready to take that next step. I'm ready to get out of it. You know, I'm a obsessed person when it comes to fly angling, and I just kind of look at it as one of those things where you're casting your streamer over and over and over again. It's raining outside. There's like one brown trout in this mile of stream. You're stripping your streamer back, and some days you're not going to catch anything, but others you might. That day came for me. And we're on to brighter things now.
Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi, 16 Mississippi, 17 Mississippi, 18 Mississippi, 19 Mississippi, 20 Mississippi. Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3
Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9.
Kelvin, the doctor's ready for you. Hey, watch it, pal.
All set.
Hey! Hey, wait! Oh, was that you that I heard counting in the bathroom earlier? I heard you from the waiting room.
Okay.
Hey, would you want to hang out sometime? Distanced, of course. We could stay 6 feet apart.
No. I don't really like going out in public. Or people, for that matter. As you can probably tell, I like staying safe.
Same. I've never met somebody else who cares about protection like I do. Like, I'm all about protection, you know? Oh, God. Not that kind of protection. I mean, that kind of protection is important, too, of course. You can never be too safe, you know? Not saying that you would, like, spread anything to me. Or that you and I would even be in a scenario like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop talking now.
You're kind of weird, you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Well, I will admit, you are the first guy to have asked me out since this whole thing has started, especially since I bought this suit. I mean, I knew it would keep the germs away, but the package never said anything about guys, too.
Wait, so was that a yes, or...
Raina. My name's Raina.
Calvin.
Calvin. The bathroom creep. Got it.
You know, just Calvin is fine too.
Whatever. Call me later, weirdo. Hi.
Hey, I found this non-allergenic flower in the forest for you. It might be a week.
I do appreciate it. Hey, wear a mask! Yup. Yay! Do you see how much that is? You see that? More than you, because that's 4 million.
Just go.
Ready? It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. No, that was terrible.
That was better than yours.
No, that's not
better
good.
than yours. Alright. Now watch.
Oh, okay, okay.
Did you see that?
I did.
you see
Okay,
that?
okay, I did.
Woo, woo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who's the best? Who's the best? Hi. Just want to go in, yeah.
The story of the biggest game of all, the Super Bowl. Every 3 years we get this chance to go through this breathtaking I do it with great appreciation and gratitude that CBS entrusts me to do this. The Matt Sims duo is progressing towards that all-important February broadcast. Sims, who won a Super Bowl as a quarterback with the New York Giants, says the feeling is a little bit different up in the booth as opposed to down on the field. Now, I do like doing the games. I love the action and being part of it. But the sensation when it's over, it's never as good, and of course it's never as bad as being a player. But still trying to be part of it. But playing is another life for me right now. It's a great time.
Allergies.
Yeah.
Is in Charlotte getting the Broncos Panthers game. Preparations for all teams involved, including CBS, so early in the week, how they first touchdowns in last week. This is not good. By the time I get to the game, especially like this week, being the studying them all week long and talking to the players and coaches, now I really understand it.
All right, well, I'm gonna head out.
Okay. Well, I had fun tonight.
Yeah, me too.
You have a nice nose. Mouth. Pretty smile.
No. No. This can't be real.
What's going on? Is everything
Don't touch me.
Are you positive? Do you have the... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Don't even bother with that, Sue. I probably got it from you.
From me? That's impossible.
Is it really, though? I've been watching how long you wash your hands for. You went from 20 seconds to 18 seconds the last time.
Okay, and now who's the bathroom creep? I hardly think that my cleanliness is the issue here.
I mean, clearly you don't even care about the CDC guidelines. I'm not even supposed to be in this room right now. I trusted you. I let you hold my hand.
Oh,
Ugh.
yeah? Well, you're the one that has been sneezing all over this place. Who knows where you've been?
You know what? Maybe we should socially distance for a while.
You know what? Fine. Go. Get out of here before I catch whatever disease you have. Go.
They get to tell the story of the biggest game of all, the Super Bowl. Every 2 years we get this camp. Gratitude that CBS entrusts me.
Hello, this is Mark with the Health Clinic, calling to provide your test results. You have been tested positive for COVID-19. Most people have mild illness, similar to the common cold or the flu, and you are able to recover at home.
Primarily, it's an analyst unit. What happens with the compound? They're looking back at a replay, and
What are you doing here? Aren't you gonna get sick?
Wait, I am sick. I'm positive too.
What? Why are you excited about that?
Well, because I realized if there's any germs that I want to be around, it's yours. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't want to use protection with you. Okay, again, more in the bacterial, germy kind of way, protection. But I guess while we're on the topic of that, I would use that kind of protection with you because you're... and you're...
Come in, weirdo!
What is this?
Repeat after me. I am creepy.
think I've changed more than the weather this year. Oh, I can't wait to see myself in the mirror. When I look up, I won't shed a tear, 'cause I know where I'm going from floating the floor in a hole in my head. Is that waiting to grow? When just what's next? Now my head's filled with moon that conspire, and I pray for my soul when the fort's on fire. But I can't stand the light on my skin. It doesn't guide my way, it doesn't lead me in. I can't stand the night on my skin. It doesn't rescue me like it did back then. I can't stand the light on my skin. It doesn't guide my way, it doesn't lead me in. I can't stand the light on my skin. It doesn't guide my way, it doesn't lead me in. I don't wanna sit down, I'm not running from anything. I'm running towards everything I can dream.
Ah, Reddit. The front page of the internet. A vibrant community of users with all sorts of interests. There's something for everyone here, I guess. News, funny pictures of cats, life advice. Oh no, okay, back up. Something for everyone. It's also where I lost it all. Hi, my name's Scott, and between walking my dog, watching 90 Day Fiancé, and making things in my air fryer, I also make movies. So, this is a movie. This is a film. No, this is a documentary. Yep. This is a documentary about, it's called, there we go. It all started in the summer of 2020. Like any reasonable person would do in the most uncertain economic climate of the century, I invested in the stock market. I opened an account on the Robinhood app, and I threw in $50 just to see what would happen. To get you to sign up for the app, Robinhood offers one free stock selected at random. It said there was a chance to get Alphabet, which is actually Google, Tesla, Facebook, Petco. Well, some of those stocks are worth hundreds of dollars per share. I was given a stock that was worth exactly $3.70. I sold the share almost immediately for a hefty 85-cent profit. That stock? GameStop. Almost a year later, in January of 2021, I started reading blurbs on Reddit about GameStop stock rising to $40, $50, $60. I thought, $60? That's nuts. That's just crazy. I wish I had kept that stock. Dang. But I didn't buy a share because I expected it to go down and I didn't want to lose any money. Long story short, I ended up buying a share at $345. So you're probably wondering what the long story is, right? Right? Well, while I was researching GameStop, I came across a subreddit called Wall Street Bets, which seemed like the source of all the commotion. I did spend a little bit of time reading their posts, and it seems like they thought that GameStop was going to the moon. I didn't understand any of it, so naturally I bought a share. I woke up the next day to find the stock had dipped. Like, really dipped. I panicked, and I looked at Wall Street Bets. They were all just telling me to hold, I think. So I held, and it went back up, but then it went down. But I held, and I held, and I held, and in the span of just 8 days, I was left with only about $53 of value. I had lost almost $300, if that math checks out. I just sat there defeated. Thinking about everything that money could have done for me. Basic living supplies, 76 copies of Shrek 2, the full screen edition on DVD. Maybe a down payment on one of those robot litter boxes for my cat, of course.
Litter, and then at that point, the clumps get dumped through the poop chute, is what I suppose I would call it. And
like a good portion of my childhood emotional trauma, I wasn't able to really cope with my losses in a normal, healthy way and just move on. I had to learn more about what caused GameStop's rise and their untimely downfall. For that, the info in my little monkey brain wasn't going to do it, so I needed to consult an expert. I sat down for a very snazzy formal interview with
Dan Giedemann. I'm a professor of economics at Grand Valley State University.
Well, this is awesome. Thank you so much for helping me out with this. What happened?
So real quickly, let's suppose you think a stock is going to go higher. How can you make money from that? Well, the easiest way is you just buy the stock now. Okay, so that's easy. What if you think a stock is overvalued, meaning the price is too high? You could do something called shorting the stock.
Professor Giedemann explained what short selling was to me, but it did take him a while because he used a lot of examples. So I'll give you the short version of it. Basically, the short sellers were able to borrow stock from shareholders with the intention to give it back at a later date. And while they have that stock, they're able to sell it out on the open market. If they were to say to sell it at $10, but then it goes down to $7, they can buy it back at $7 and then return it back to whoever they borrowed it from. It's like Wolf of Wall Street and Uncut Gems had a baby. Now they're able to take that $3 and do whatever they want with it. I mean, that could have gotten them almost a whole copy of Shrek 2 on DVD, at least the full screen version. So that explained what short selling was, and it kind of explained why GameStop, because, the company was sort of going downhill. But that doesn't really explain how Wall Street Bets got involved in this, and truth be told, what the heck Wall Street Bets actually is.
Well, what the hedge funds did with GameStop is that they ended up borrowing more shares of stock than there actually were shares of stock in existence.
Well, I was like, how can you borrow more than what's in existence?
And you're like, well, how can you borrow more than what's in existence? Let's suppose I borrow a share of stock from you and then I sell it in the open market. Well, then whoever bought that stock, I could borrow it from them and promise to pay them back. And so you could end up, I think they were like at 140% of, per share. So we had the story of these people who they shorted GameStop. Well, and then you had a group of people in Wall Street bets. And to be honest, I don't participate in Wall Street bets, but they were able to identify that there was some shorting that had been going on. And they basically said, you know what, if we start buying these shares and drive the price up.
Sorry, Dan. Can I call you Dan? Is that okay? What Dan is trying to say is that the plan was just to continue to buy and hold the stock in order to squeeze the short sellers into closing their positions and therefore losing a ton of money. Of course, making whoever owned the shares a ton of money in the process. It was a masterful plan, and seemed like, in theory, it could continue going on to, well, the moon. But it didn't, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. Please join us as we observe a moment of silence for those who have fallen. Even though my losses seem very small in comparison to some of the ones I saw on Reddit, I needed to understand why GameStop crashed in the first place.
It's still not exactly clear what was happening there, but what was most likely happening was that Robinhood was facing sort of regulatory liquidity constraints, where when people were buying that, they did not have enough cash on hand to basically continue to be able to allow people to buy these shares. So I definitely think when Robinhood did those freezes on the ability of people to purchase more of the stock, I think that definitely had an effect on the price.
There you have it. Robinhood manipulated the market. Somebody on Reddit said that that was illegal. So, there we go.
In the fine print.
Shit, I forgot the fine print. Okay. Hear the drums echoing tonight. Oh, shit. My efforts to pin my failure on someone else had all been in vain. I decided to come clean and take responsibility for my own actions. Since Professor Giedemann had been spending the entirety of our interview together, sort of poking fun at anybody who paid quite a bit of money for GameStop.
I can't imagine anybody in their right mind who really thought that like GameStop stock price could be supported by future profitability of GameStop when it was like at $360.
Using terms like
fools
and other words.
Greater fool.
I decided to reveal to him that I was one of them. $345.
Yeah. I appreciate you telling me that because, but that's the case. I mean, that happens. And so maybe that's kind of the question. You kind of think about yourself a little bit, you know?
After that, I really took Dan's advice and I thought about myself for probably at least that long. And I realized that some of the best things in life don't come with a $300 risk and can still provide me the rush and the adrenaline of buying stocks. So I got off Wall Street bets, cold turkey. Except I didn't sell my one sad little GameStop share. I can't really tell you why. Maybe there was this little glimmer of hope that one day I'd get lucky.
I mean, women's bodies in general are just like fucking masterpieces. How do you feel about your body? I mean, I wish I loved myself, but it's kind of hard to.
Pretty confident. My thighs are not the best.
There are definitely things I think I would change.
I don't know, it's hard not to compare yourself.
But like, I know I can't, so then, you know, you just gotta like, try to love what you have and accept yourself.
I have stretch marks and I own up to those because it reminds me of where I was in that period of my life and reminds me of how like low I was and how stuff like that. So it shows me that like it can always get better.
It's like what you're like taught to hate your own body. Like even regardless of gender, like everyone's just taught to hate their own body, so that people can make money off of it.
The media has made it so impossible to feel beautiful, yet they also sexualize our bodies constantly.
But like the media is never going to stop telling me what my body has to look like, so there's always that part of my brain that's like, you could do better.
You're not gonna have the perfect body, and a perfect body doesn't even exist, so it's like, your body is useful to you, it gives you life, it's, I don't know.
This is my one life, and I was born a woman, and I identify as a woman, and I'm not gonna let anybody gonna view me as less than a human being for how my body looks, for how I act, for who I choose to love and who I don't choose to love.
But I think like my mom has always had her own like body image issues, especially after having kids.
It's like passed down, like how she views her body is how I like view mine.
If your mom hates her body, like what are you supposed to think, you know? You hate your body too. Like, are you like proud of your body?
Yeah, I'd say I'm proud of it because, well, everybody's different. We all go through different things.
Well, now I like a lot more stuff now. Like recently in like the last like year or like last 6 months even, like during quarantine, I like started actually enjoying my body for the first time.
One thing I do like about my body is how it's treated me, I guess. I mean, I can always pick apart every part of my body, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's like, it gets done when I need it to.
It reminds me of where I was in that period of my life and reminds me of how it can always get better.
Hi, my name is Zach Thomas, and my senior thesis film, Behind My Eyes, is about Cassandra, who is looking for answers from her past about her mother. I hope you enjoy.
Mom,
Yes, sweetheart.
I don't want you to go.
It's all right, baby. Here. See? I'm not going anywhere. I promise. Okay. You sleep tight. We have a busy day tomorrow.
Wait. You break your promise. I don't know where you go. I can't find you anywhere.
I don't understand, Cassandra. Don't you remember what you did to Mommy?
Please, Mama. I'm trying to find you.
You will never find me, Cassie. Not after what you did.
No.
Just wait until I tell your father. Although you deserve a much harsher punishment than what he's going to do.
You aren't my mother.
Good night, Cassandra. Sleep tight.
Bobby?
Cassie, movie's about to start.
Coming, Mom.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, Mama.
Have you seen Mommy's little orange bottle?
The one I brought home a few weeks ago?
No. Yes. I think so.
Okay. Well, if you do, let me know, okay? It's very important for Mommy.
I lied. I found them and I flushed them. I thought they were hurting you, Mommy. You acted so different and I was too young to understand. But I do now. Please, Mom. I just wanted you back.
Thank you for telling the truth.
Mom.
Look at how beautiful you are, Cassie. So sorry, baby.
No, don't say that. I hurt you, and I thought I'd never see you again.
No. You could never hurt me, Cassie.
I miss you so much.
Oh, baby. And I will always love you. You are the greatest gift life has ever given me.
Hey, it's okay. You heard Mom. We could never hurt her. It's not our fault.
We won't ever see Mommy again.
No. No, we won't. I'm so sorry.
We won't ever see Mommy again, even after we die. We aren't going to the same place as Mommy.
No, I'm so sorry.
You're not sorry.
Please. Please don't go. No.
This is your fault.
Please stay with me.
I hate you.
No! Please! I didn't know what I was doing! Please, I didn't know how to help! I was so scared! Please!
For us kids growing up in the Irish Hills, it was magical for us to visit these places and take ourselves back in time. Whether it's back to 65 million years ago with the dinosaurs, or back to the 1800s in the Old West with Stagecoach Stop. It was a fun local place for us to forget about our daily lives just for a few hours and gave us something to hang on to and to enjoy. For those of us, we grew up in a time where we were grateful for what we had. Cedar Point may have been the wow factor. Disney World might have been the wow factor. But there was something about the Irish Hills attractions that we still appreciated because it was local and we got to see our friends there. Kids are missing out. The Irish Hills was named in the 1840s when a number of immigrants from Ireland came to Michigan to flee the potato famine that was going on at the time. They settled in the area and they had remarked to themselves how the rolling hills, the greenery, and the lakes remind them of home. I was born and raised in Illinois County, so the Irish Hills was always the destination place to go for fun. When we were growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so Cedar Point was like an extravagance, and so was Disney, so was Michigan Adventure, Six Flags. So the Irish Hills was the perfect place for us to go as a family to visit the many roadside attractions that were there. Back in the 1970s, there were probably at least a dozen active roadside attractions that we could choose from to go and have fun. It was probably the late 1800s, early 1900s that some hotels started cropping up around some of the major lakes, drawing people in. A lot of these people came from Detroit, Toledo, Ann Arbor, Chicago. So for them to come out to the Irish Hills area was an escape from city life, and it was a way to relax, rejuvenate, and recharge. And with that came the improvement of US 12. In 1923, 1924, they graded it to make it more accessible. They paved it in 1925, and that's about when you really saw the roadside attractions start to pop up. The Michigan Observation Company was looking for hills that they could put platforms for people to climb and take in the scenery for 10 cents. And then they turned to the Irish Hills and found a orchard hill. And the Orchard Hill was solidly divided in half. One was owned by the Kelly family, the other half was owned by the Brighton family. They approached Ed Kelly, and he flatly told them no. So they went next door to the Brightons and asked the Brightons if they would sell their half of the hill, and he said yes. So construction started July of 1924. That incensed Ed Kelly next door. His idea of getting revenge was to build a similar tower right on the property line next door. So when the Irish Hills Observation Tower opened in October 1924, he was already building his, and there was a little bit of rivalry. He built his a little bit higher than the Michigan Observation Company. Michigan Observation Company came in and built theirs so it would be equal height. Ed Kelly put a little bit more on his. Michigan Observation did the same, and then they said, we're a big company. If you don't knock it off, we're going to tear this one down and build a tower you can't possibly compete with. Mr. Kelly backed down, and from then on, they just competed for tourism dollars.
We do it because of the history of it. People don't like to pay money to walk upstairs, but you gotta have a way to pay the electric bill. People would agree. I think at the time we were charging 50 cents and 25 cents or something crazy to climb up. I think we went as far as $1, and people would complain about paying $1 to walk up the stairs. I'm like, hey, somebody's gotta get the light bill paid. You gotta pay the person to sit here to make sure everybody's going up and coming down. The year 2000 was the last year that it was actually open for the public to go climb. And my husband and I got married here on this site. It was the last time that the waterfall ran. I don't know why the historical stuff isn't really a huge priority. It's a shame too, because you don't want to lose all of your history. Our ultimate goal would be to put a museum in the bottom where we could put all of the things that we've gathered, not just for the towers themselves, but the actual Irish Hills area.
Stagecoach Stop, that was a very popular Western-themed attraction, opened in 1965 along US 12. A couple, Fred and Dorothy Bailew, had several sons, and so they pressed their sons into service to be cowboys, to participate in the Western theme and the shootouts and the fights and everything that entertained the guests. And August 3rd, 1980, specifically was a day that I went with my family to Stagecoach Stop, and my family had entered my name into the hat for which kid was going to be selected as sheriff of the day. After we'd gone through the park and had seen all the sights and then witnessed the cowboy fights, we went back to the main area and they gathered everybody around to draw the name for the person who was going to be the honorary sheriff of the day. And much to my mortification as a 7-year-old, a very shy 7-year-old, they drew my name. The guy playing Marshall Tumbleweed Canyon posed with me, looking very serious. I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of stood there with the gun going, what do I do? I have that Polaroid to this day. It's a little faded by time because it's over 40 years old. But there's one thing that I do have from that day that's very special to me that I did keep away from the elements, and it is my official poster telling me about my adventures of being the honorary sheriff of Stagecoach Stop on August 3rd, 1980, signed by Fred Bailew, who owned the complex, and also signed by Marshall T.W. Canyon. So I found out years later that the marshal who played that part was actually a friend of mine, and I had no idea that he was the young man who portrayed the marshal and who posed with the picture for me. So hopefully when the pandemic lifts, we'll be able to reunite for a picture some 40 years later.
Rick. It's been a while. How do you wanna? However it works. However it works. How you doing? Good to see you. Me too.
Yeah, I think Tom was a marshal and drove the train more than being I doubt that he fell out of any water towers. Rick Shore, I think we met.
Rick Shore, we have, yeah.
How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Stagecoach Stop had something that was really real, you know? I mean, it was things that would entertain. And we worked hard to keep it fresh and to make it entertaining for people. You know, I always told the kids that were working, I said, look, if you're bored, so are they. Find that enthusiasm and let's put on a good show.
Stagecoach was a family place. When we were working, you never saw a cowboy smoking or drinking or doing anything other than being a cowboy, walking and talking, always talking to the people, because family was what this place was. It was about bringing the families in, a whole family, and give them the whole day. And that's what, to me, Stagecoach needs to be again.
And I can't remember how many times we came here. I mean, obviously I have evidence showing that I was here that specific day in 1980, but I mean, we came here at least once or twice a summer. And just the memories just pile on. Obviously, being named Marshal of the Day was like the highlight of those visits. I've got the pictures, I've got the posters, I've got an 8x10 glossy photo that they handed out to everybody at Stagecoach Stop. Those are treasures that 41 years later after I got those, I mean, they're still very much beloved parts of my memories. I had a lot of difficult moments in childhood, and this was one of my escapes. But I'm also a little sad for the people who are really working hard to bring this back to where it is, and I know that it takes a lot of money, takes a lot of dedication, and it also takes a lot of convincing people that they need to come back here and to reminisce and to remember again.
attention, baby. And I can't make a move. Like a child, a star for love. I'll stay there as long as I have to. I'll cry a river of tears that flows to the sea. Baby, if you run away, baby, if you leave, I'm so in love with you, girl. You make me feel brand new. Come on, give it up to me. Let me take care of you. I know that your mama's...
Hey.
Hey.
Please tell me you're hungry because I made way too much food.
I did miss lunch today.
Come in. I can get that. Make yourself comfortable while I finish up in the kitchen. So, you work in the ER, right? How do you even find time in the middle of the day to get to a museum?
Every other week, I work weekends in exchange for Thursday and Friday off.
I bet that works out nicely. So, would you call yourself a cat or a dog person? I mean, I'm neither, but thinking about getting myself one or the other because, you know, it gets pretty lonely around here sometimes. Shania.
This is beautiful. Where'd you learn to paint?
My dad, before he passed. But, I've been teaching myself ever since.
You never sent this. Why not?
Couldn't. And my mother, she was unemployed. I had to get a full-time job to help her stay on her feet. So.
What about after that?
No, I guess I just never got back to it.
Well, I think you should try again. How much do you sell these for? Are you serious? You should be. People will pay good money for original art.
Shania, I can't take that risk. Okay, I mean, I got a stable job. I got bills.
But are you happy? Are you fulfilled? It should just be about the money. Although I think you could be making a hell of a lot more doing this. Be honest with yourself, Malik. You love this. This is where you belong. This is who you are. No amount of money can replace what makes you happy. You should reconsider. It's not too late.
I
Yo, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, would it be possible to maybe consider me for a raise? I mean, it's been like almost 3 years since my last one.
Administration really has me stretching the budget lately. I don't know if I have the resources to do that.
Well, I talked to Evan last week, and he told me that he's gotten 2 since last year. So.
Yeah, well, Evan's been here longer than you have. Look, ask again in a few months, and we'll see where we stand.
All right.
As the confrontation gets heated, a customer lashes out, and an off-duty Quincy police officer, who investigators say was part of the group, flashes an ID. The dispute, all apparently sparked over masks.
Hey, listen. All you had to say was, I have a medical exemption, and I don't have to tell you about my medical exemption.
We ultimately see that store employee fall backward to the ground and hear someone yell.
Don't push him, dude.
Luna's next video shows the employee throw Scott's own flip-flop at him and hit him square in the head.
Argument sparked by a mask led to an officer-involved shooting.
When one man confronted another for not wearing a mask, the maskless man allegedly pulled a knife and stabbed the other man.
COVID-19 led America to mask mandates that caused unrest in the country. While there were those who felt that their freedoms were being violated, there were others who believed it was a necessary decision to help their country recover from the pandemic as quickly as possible. We wanted to see what that division looked like on a person-to-person level, and we wanted to know how they formed their different opinions about COVID and masks.
Maybe not the very first moment, but I know that it was February, March last year. I was probably in my apartment with my roommates, and we didn't think it was a big deal at first, of course. I mean, we were mostly excited about not having school at that point, and we were kind of on a high of, oh, okay, like, we don't have to go into class anymore, like, oh, that's so fun, let's all go party, whatever. And then you start to hear more and more about it, and the cases are doubling, tripling every day.
Yeah, originally, like when we first heard about COVID, we hadn't really done any research about it, and my mom was wearing gloves while shopping in the stores. We were just hearing what the radio and the media was telling us. And then my family sat down, and my dad, he teaches here in anatomy and physiology, he's like, I started doing some research on this COVID. And he's like, look at these numbers. And he's like, this is not just like one source, like everybody is saying these numbers, and this is what the media is telling you. So originally, yes, we were more concerned about it, but then once you start looking at the big picture and all the numbers, you're like, oh, it's not anything like it was. It didn't really start affecting me until like middle of March when I started working at a restaurant, and then we had to start wearing our masks. That's when it really started affecting me. But before then, like they didn't enforce anybody to wear a mask at that time, but I had to at work. That's when it really started like affecting my life.
I can't necessarily remember like right when we started wearing masks. I mean, everything kind of happened pretty quickly for me at the beginning with my stepdad getting sick and experiencing that, so I definitely felt like I was in the midst of it. So wearing a mask didn't really feel abnormal because my mom was wearing a mask every time she went upstairs, and we weren't really going into a lot of places. And also Larry is in his upper 60s and he's slightly overweight, so he had that against him. I'd say the worst symptom for him was his back pain. He just had these like extreme muscle aches and just, I don't even know, body aches. He said it felt like Satan was wringing out his spine and like not letting go. And we could hear him because he was quarantined upstairs. We had him isolated, and we could hear him from downstairs like shouting out in pain, just how bad his body was hurting, and it was awful to hear.
So what is your overall view on COVID?
I think it's a joke. It's like the flu. I'll take my 0.01% chance of dying. I mean, quarantining the healthy has always been viewed as a poor medical practice. Right now, that's all they're doing. They're starting to link more things, like because you're not getting any exposure to anything, people are actually getting sicker. They're not building up anything in their immune system. I mean, if people want to wear masks, they're more than welcome to wear masks, but not everybody should be forced to wear a mask. I'll be honest, I go into Meyer, I don't wear a mask. I don't wear a mask anywhere except for at work because I have to. And even here at Grand Valley, my 2 in-person classes, the professors don't care, so I have it below my nose. And I go to work, if my boss is in the room, I put it up, but if not, I don't even usually have it on. I just think that they can't mandate what we do and don't wear for something that's not going to kill us. Like if it's the Black Plague, I understand. There's not enough information out there about COVID. The death rates are so low. More people die from heart disease and cardiac arrest and cancer every year compared to COVID.
It's different when it's like right in your face and you're experiencing it. If Larry hadn't gotten sick, I'm sure my opinion would be different. I mean, you hear all the scary stories on the news and everything, but you can turn that off as well and just kind of like live on your own and notice like things don't seem that bad. Things don't seem like they're going wrong. People that are getting sick are recovering, or a lot of people that are getting sick are barely getting sick. Some people don't even feel it. So like I get that. It can seem like it wasn't a big deal. And I definitely can understand like if you didn't know somebody that got sick like bad, then it's easy to brush it off and push it aside. They can be political for sure. I don't think they have to be, and I don't think they should be, because ultimately what is wrong about a community coming together and making sure that the rest of the community is okay? I don't see why that should be political, but in terms of an election year, and especially this election, it definitely became political. And like I said, I feel like people not wearing a mask became more of a statement rather than I don't want to wear a mask because I don't want to. It's like, I'm not going to wear a mask because I don't want to.
The whole mask issue right now, in my opinion, is being over-politicized, and that's not what we should be doing. We don't have time for politics right now.
And it's like, I don't know. There's definitely things on Twitter as well, too. I see jokes, even people tweeting like, I hate when I forget my mask, and people think and then people think I'm a Republican. So I don't personally see it as being political. I'm just like, oh, this is a mandate and I'm gonna follow it. And that's just how it is.
Enough is enough. Like if I take my mask off in a store and I walk around without it on, I'm setting that example that it's okay. I wear a mask if somebody comes up to me and they want to have a conversation with me and they're like, will you please pull your mask over your nose? Like I do that. If I'm in a store and they told me I need to wear a mask, I put it on under my nose and they say, you need to have it over your nose. Like I do put it on to respect the people. But if you're not going to confront me about it, I'm not wearing a mask. And if I know it's only one worker, like at Meijer, only the greeters will tell you something about the mask. You just got to get past the greeter, and then they don't say anything. None of the clerks do, none of the stockers do, nobody does.
Like I understand that, but at the same time, if you're going in public, like you could possibly be exposing people that you don't know who do have families to protect, and I think it's kind of selfish and a little bit petty because it's really not a big deal to put something over your ears for 30 minutes while you're in the store. I feel like at that point you're just not wearing a mask to make a statement, which you can make that statement. I don't have to agree with you, but I don't see why it's so hard to wear a mask for like short little trips into the store.
I don't think, theoretically, yes. If everybody truly wore an N95 mask every time they went out, but you're never going to get that. It's like they tried to do the 2-week shutdown in the beginning. It was supposed to go away after the 2-week shutdown. Not everybody's going to stay in lockdown. I didn't stay in lockdown.
Why did you stay in lockdown?
Because it's COVID. It's not like I'm going to die. I understand I have a chance of dying. Yes, my immunity could go up and I could walk out this door and I could get COVID and I could die from it. But it's not like I have a huge chance of dying as a 20-year-old who's healthy.
As hard as COVID was and all of the negativity that came out of it, I would say that there are a lot of positives that came out of it as well, because I have learned to be a lot more grateful for what we had before, and just like hugging another person when you see them for the first time in a while, or hugging goodbye. I really took that for granted.
Yes, masks are better than no masks.
But you shouldn't have to wear one.
No, they shouldn't force me to wear a mask.
I didn't mind the masks. At first, I mean, whatever. If I can stop any person from feeling the way that Larry did, I would do what I can, and putting something over my face wasn't a big deal. I'm starting to get sick of it, but at the same time, it's not that big of a deal in terms of what it can do to stop this going on, because I would love COVID-19 to be done with.
My name is Jordan Skutar, and my thesis, entitled "The Body of a Rational Creature," tackles rape myths that surround women in contemporary society. April is actually Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so I hope you enjoy.
Do you know the story of the Russian cosmonaut? So he goes up in this big spaceship, and he's got this portal window, and he's looking out of it, and he sees the curvature of the Earth for the first time. And all of a sudden, this strange ticking begins coming out of the dashboard.
Okay, yeah.
But he can't find it. He can't stop it. He keeps going. A few hours into this, begins to feel like torture. What's he gonna do? He's up in space. So Cosmonaut decides the only way to save his sanity